Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am discuss with you Government of India Act 1935. The act marked a second milestone toward a completely responsible government in India. It was lengthy and detailed document having 321 sections and 10 schedules. Features of the act Government of India Act 1935. It provided for the establishment of an all India federation consisting of provinces and princely states as units. The act divided the powers between the centers and units in terms of three lists. First one is federal list for center with 59 items, provincial list for provinces with 54 items, and the concurrent list for booth with 36 items. Residuary power were given to the viceroy. However, the federation never came into being as the princely states did not join it. It abolished diarchy in the provinces and introduced provincial autonomy in its place. The provinces were allowed to act as autonomous unit of administration in their defined spheres. Moreover, the act introduced responsible government in provinces, that is, the governor were required to act with the advice of ministers responsible to the provincial legislature. This came into effect in 1937 as was discontinued in 1939. It provided for the adoption of diarchy at the center. Consequently, the federal subjects were divided into reserved subjects and transferred subjects. However, this provision of the act did not came into operation at all. It introduced bicameralism in 6 out of 11 provinces. Thus, the legislature of Bengal, Bombay, Madras, Bihar, Assam, and the United Provinces were made bicameral, consisting of a legislative council, upper house, and a legislative assembly, lower house. However, many restrictions were placed on them. It further extended the principle of communal representation by providing separate electorates for displaced classes, scheduled castes, women, and labor workers. It abolished the Council of India established by the Government of India Act of 1858. The Secretary of State for India was provided with a team of advisors. It extended franchise. About 10% of the total population got the voting right. It provided for the establishment of a Reserve Bank of India to control the currency and credit of the country. It provided for the establishment of not only a federal public service commission but also a provincial public service commission and joint public service commission for 2 or more provinces. It provided for the separate establishment of a federal court which was set up in 1937. The next one is India Independence Act of 1947. This is most important act. On February 20, 1947, the British Prime Minister Clement Attlee declared that the British rule in India would end by June in 1948, after which the power would be transferred to responsible Indian hands. This announcement was followed by the agitation by the Muslim League demanding partition of the country. Again on June 3, 1947, the British government made it clear that any constitution framed by the Constituent Assembly of India, formed in 1946, cannot apply to those parts of country which were unwilling to accept it. On the same day, June 3, 1947, Lord Mountbatten, the Viceroy of India, put forth the partition plan, known as the Mountbatten Plan. The plan was accepted by the Congress and Muslim League. Immediate effect was given to the plan by enacting the Indian Independence Act 1947. Feature of this Act 1947. It ended the British rule in India and declared India as an independent and sovereign state from August 15, 1947. It provided for the partition of India and creation of two independent dominions of India and Pakistan, with the right to seat for the British Commonwealth. It abolished the office of Viceroy and provided for each dominion a Governor General who was to be appointed by the British King on the advice of Dominion Cabinet. His Majesty's government in Britain was to have no responsibility with respect to the government of India or Pakistan. It empowered the constituent assemblies of the two dominions to frame and adopt any constitution for their respective nation and to repeal any act of British Parliament, including the Independence Act itself. It empowered the constituent assemblies of both the dominions to legislate for their respective territories till the new constitutions were drafted and enforced. No act of the British Parliament passed after August 15, 1947 was to extended to either of the new dominion unless it was extended thereto by a law of legislature of the dominion. It abolished the office of the Secretary of the State for India and transferred his function to the Secretary of State for Commonwealth Affairs. It proclaimed the lapse of British paramountcy over the Indian princely state and treaty relations with tribal areas from August 15, 1947. It granted freedom to the Indian princely states either to join the Dominion of India or Dominion of Pakistan or to remain independent. It provided for the government of each of the dominions and the provinces by the Government of India Act 1935 till the new constitution were framed. The dominions were, however, authorized to make modification in the Act. It deprived the British monarch of his right to veto bill or ask for reservation of certain bills for his approval, but this right was reserved for the Governor General. The Governor General would have full power to assent to any bill in the name of His Majesty. He designated the Governor General of India and the provincial governor as constitution heads of the state. They were made to act on the advice of the respective council of ministers in all matters. It dropped the title of Emperor of India from royal title of King of England. It discontinued the appointment to civil service and reservation of post by the Secretary of State of India. The member of civil secretary services were appointed before August 15, 1947 would continue to enjoy all benefits that they were entitled to till that time. At the stroke of midnight of 14 to 15 August 1947, the British rule came to an end and power was transferred to the two new independent dominions of India and Pakistan. Lord Mountbatten became the first Governor General of the new Dominion of India. He swore in Jawaharlal Nehru as the first Prime Minister of independent India. The Constituent Assembly of India, formed in 1946, became the Parliament of India, Indian Dominion. We discuss all the historical background and its important features of Indian Constitution. Please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.